First of all, my name is Jerritt Johnston. I really appreciate the opportunity to speak with you. I'm the new Director of Education at the Wolf Center. I'm not sure how much longer I get to keep using the word new. I've been here since about March, mid-March, and my family moved up in mid-April, and so far we're absolutely loving it. Just a quick introduction, because I've met only a few of you, I think, in this group. My family includes my wife and my two kids. I have a 7-year-old son who's in 2nd grade over at the elementary school, and he absolutely loves it there. And my daughter is 3 years old, and she's in happy days. And she is now, well, they're both now wolf specialists, but they're also track specialists. The other night we went for a hike after kind of the first snow, and we were walking along, and we had our headlamps on. And every time there was even a minor disturbance in the snow, my 3-year-old was like, guys, come here. And she'd get down and she'd like totally look at it. And I didn't have the heart to tell her that like 98% of the things she had was like snow blowing off of trees. I was like, yeah, that's great. So there, one of the reasons we decided to take the risk of moving up from the Twin Cities to live in a small town like Ely and take the challenge of the position at the Wolf Center was because of the lifestyle we want to have for our kids. And I don't need to sell any of you all on it, because I think that's why you're here too. But I think one of the key things that I am going to continue talking about is this age group, all of us, we don't need to be convinced of the messages that we're talking about. We're convinced, and we know the importance of this education. But we've lost a long time with these young kids and with the kids in the school systems right now, and really connecting them with the environment. And so our excitement has to be communicated and generated again in another generation to really have the impact that we all hope to see, not just in our lifetime, but in the generations to come. So that's one of the real reasons why we're up here, and why I think the work at the Wolf Center is so important. By way of other information, I'm a longtime teacher, both experiential outdoor adventure education, and I'm a licensed social studies teacher, grades 5 through 12. And before moving up here, I was working at a charter school in St. Paul called Skills for Tomorrow High School, and worked with what most people would call a stereotypic urban population, and really enjoyed that work. But it was time to move on for a number of reasons, and that's a different conversation. That's an education debate one day. But ended up here, and like I said, we're having a lot of fun and really enjoying it. As a longtime teacher, I don't mind if you interrupt me and talk about what you really want to talk about, and ask questions completely out of line with where I'm going. And so I'll gladly answer those. The other part is I'm not a wolf expert. As my background says, my expertise is in education and management, and so you may be able to stump me on a wolf biology question, but I'll find the answer and I'll get back to you. That's not a problem. I think I'm learning fairly quickly. Going to quickly talk about our year this year at the Wolf Center. Going to talk about our educational efforts, both the current ones and those that are upcoming in 2011. Going to talk about our relationship and our work inside the community here in Ely and the surrounding area. And then we'll talk a little bit about wolf management and answering the questions that are really burning on your minds about that, both in the Great Lakes, out west, and in other areas. So again, feel free to ask any questions that you want at any time, and I'll see if I can get my mind back on where I was going after that. Right. Anything you just need to know right this second? All right. As I saw Steve looking at the calendar and holding it away, I lost my non-line bifocals out in the woods hunting, and so I'm back to the lined bifocals, and so you're going to see me keep doing this. We've had a great year at the Wolf Center. This is our 25th anniversary, and that's the 25th anniversary of when the committee for the Wolf Center was formed. As you all probably know, the building was opened in 1993, and we've been up here ever since with our programs there. And then even before that, there were more history with local organizations, including VCC, of having wolves and doing wolf education in the area. The renovation that has been the ongoing and real challenge for the center, and you all probably followed it and know a little bit about it, finally finished in earlier this year, and we're really excited about the new space, the way it's set up. We have Our main exhibit, Wolves and Humans, is slightly altered. We have a great new space for temporary exhibits. And currently in there is the Isle Royal photo exhibit. So if you haven't been there, that's going to be coming down probably in the next month or so. And the Isle Royal wolf moose study is the longest ongoing wolf study in the world. And the photographs that have come from that are outstanding, and we're really happy to have that. We also will be looking for a new exhibit in 2011. We have some ideas, but if you have an idea of what you think might fit in that space, either from a local perspective or from a wildlands or wolf perspective or something along those lines, please don't hesitate to get in touch with me because we want to open that up and really make the best use of that space we can. We also have a brand new retail space that's been redone, and that's worked out really well for us, and it's allowed us to present our merchandise in the best way that we can. And we also have a new welcome theater. So it's a brand new space where the U.S. Forest Service used to have their space, and it's about a 30-person theater. And we're going to be completing a welcome theater film. We're working with a filmmaker on that, and that should be going live in early January. We hope to have that completed. I'm really excited about what that's going to look like. The other thing that I would say about that space is if you plan to have a meeting of a small group, 15, 20, 25 people, it's a great spot to meet, and we want to make sure that that's available to the public. And so you talk to me about the possibility of using that. It's a really nice, cozy space, and we have a couple other spaces that you can use as well. Let's see, talked about that. This summer was good as far as visitorship compared to other years, and that's based on my knowledge, kind of looking at the numbers. I think like most of the owners of businesses that I've talked to, June was a little bit slower than we expected and didn't get quite ramped up as quickly as we expected it would. But September and October were excellent months for us. We had the highest visitorship in September that we've had in a number of years, I think since 2002. And October was very good. We think that it's some of the early retirees who are still traveling and still really interested in adventure that were coming up in those months that we don't see during the summer when it's kind of crazy and hectic and all the kids are running around. So really happy about that. The other big thing for this year is the Minnesota Wolf Link grant. You may have heard about this or read about it. We received a $193,000 grant from the Environment and Natural Resources Trust Fund from the state of Minnesota. That's allowing us to upgrade our video conferencing equipment, and I'll talk about our video conferencing programs in just a second. But it's also allowing us to offer 100 free programs over the next 3 years to Minnesota groups. We're mainly targeting schools, and we're mainly targeting urban and rural schools, but if you know of a group, particularly urban or rural, that would be interested in hearing seeing one of our programs, we'll make sure we get you information on that, and I'll talk a little bit more about that in a second. And then recently, Give to the Max was a tremendous success to us. Is everybody here familiar with Give to the Max Day or Give Min? Okay. Most people who pay attention to nonprofits know that. We had a very successful day, $31,000 including matching grants from our board. So we're extremely happy. And what we're very happy about is that we had more unique donors this year for a higher dollar amount than we had last year. We had fewer donors last year, and we had a little bit less money. And that was with number of donors overall for Give to the Max Day actually being down. I'm sorry, numbers of donors for Give to the Max Day were up, but overall dollar amounts for Give to the Max were down. So we actually outperformed last year, and we're really excited about that.
Sure. Wasn't the matching different this year too from the organization? So?
Yep. So last year, up until right before the actual date, the Give to the Max organization said they would match dollar for dollar what was going to happen. That didn't happen, and so all nonprofits kind of scrambled at the end to try and figure that out. This year, our matching funds came from our board and other donors, so they pledged to match donations that we could get through that day. So all those matching donations came from other private donors. All right. Let's see. Something in the education realm that's coming up just around the corner. On Friday night, we're going to have a presentation at the Wolf Center from Jess Edberg. She's our Information Services Director. This summer she led a trip to Denali National Park, and she's going to talk about that trip, show some unbelievable pictures. And if you've ever had the chance to hear Jess speak, you know she's an engaging and really well-informed person, especially around wolf issues. I would highly recommend that. It's free to the public. We are asking for a suggested $2 donation, but it's free. Okay, so I highly recommend that. And there's information on our website about the exact time, and I should have had that before I came over, but I think it's 6:30 or 7 p.m.
Friday, this Friday.
This Friday, so the day after Thanksgiving.
Black Friday.
Yep, Black Friday. Go spend your money all day and then come in a nice, warm, cozy spot and learn about the Denali trip on Friday night. And again, please ask questions so it's not just me rambling up here and being boring, because I apologize if it's sounding a little bit like a sales pitch. WolfLink, I want to talk about that. I mentioned it in that grant. WolfLink allows us to connect with schools and groups who can't come to physically visit the center. My personal belief in experiential education is we want every student, any person who wants to learn about the outdoors and nature, we want to get them outside. You can learn more about it by doing it than you can sitting in a classroom, and that's as a classroom teacher too. I've been that person too, so it's not a criticism, it's just what I really believe about education. Unfortunately, with budgets and with space and distance, we're not going to be able to get every student outside. So we have video conference technology that we connect with schools and groups all over the country. We've also done international programs. And so all the school needs is that equipment. More and more schools have that equipment now. And so we can connect right to the classroom. We have live video into our wolf enclosures so the students can actually see the wolves. They also receive or can rent a wolf loan box, which has all the tangibles, wolf pelts, skulls, coyote skulls, deer, moose sorts of things. And so they can actually get their hands on it. Again, it's not outdoors, it's not experiencing it, but it's a lot closer than just talking about it or reading about it. And one thing that we're really excited about with this grant is with our new upgrading equipment, we're going to be able to play John Madden, if any of you are football fans, where he goes X's, O's, you know, and does all that on the screen with the yellow stripes. We're actually going to be able to do that with wolf behavior. So we'll be able to freeze a specific interaction with wolves. Then our educator will be able to highlight that and talk about the specific body posture, interaction, or activity that's going on. And we're really excited about that because that'll allow us to really drive home the learning. The other day we had a program, and a teacher was nice enough afterwards to send his debrief that he did with his students. And some of the things that they liked was watching a wolf sleep. And they also liked when our educator, Camdela, sorry to do that while you're taking a bite, when our educator, Camdela, showed them wolf scat, because you know all kids like poop. And we spent a lot of time talking about it at the center because you can learn a lot about animals that way. But and they learned about wolf behavior. They learned that wolves eat a lot. They learned that wolves eat a lot at one time, and that they're pack and social animals. So among a number of other things. So that's really cool. And I think that was a third grade group. So.